Hello, this quick video introduces you to how to create a story map. So first off, I'm going to go to my content and I'm going to create a folder where I'm going to save all of my work related to this project. That's quite important because when it comes to sharing your story map and changing the permissions, it's nice to have everything all in one place. For your work, you'll have lots of different files, layers, feature classes that you'll have, and I suggest you put them all in one folder in ArcGIS Online. So let's go to our study area, Cold Harbour Mill, and let's just change that base map to imagery first of all, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm just going to then look at this map in my content, and I just want to have a look at the extent and make sure that is as I would hope. So let's go for we can change that in settings. Let's go to extent, edit extent, and let's see what it's set to by default. Okay, perfect. It's set to our study site, which is exactly what I want to do. So let's just move me out of the way and hit save. Okay, I want, for consistency between my map layers, I want to use that extent between different maps. So it's really useful just to make a note of that, so that for future maps I can set the same extent. Then you can do nice comparisons, nice swipes and different things between them. So that's my first kind of top tip. No, that's my second top tip. My first one was to have everything in one folder. The second one is to make a note of the extent of all your different maps. So actually now I'm going to save that as the Column map. Then I'm just going to continue the demo just by using different base maps. Like I say, you'll probably have lots of different layers and different things that you want to show. So I'm going to go for an OpenStreetMap. I'll save that, and I'll go for another base map as well, so that I've got three maps that I can interact with and show you different options for. Let's just go for a topographic map. Column map, topographic. Okay, so now I've got at least three maps that I can start to build a story map with. So let's go to share. Again, this permissions we'll talk about later on, but that's something to be aware of. You might not want to share it publicly until it's been marked, otherwise other students can access your maps. Anyway, create a web app. Let's go for a story map. I'm going to show you Cascade because it's really intuitive and it's really effective for producing a story map. The tags are really useful for helping you search for your content when you're making lots of content, so you might want to have a consistent one there, maybe column story map or something like that. So here we go. It's given us a default background. We can change that. We can change the title. It's given us a first page from the map that we were just on. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to add in some more content here. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go for an immersive section. I should have added that before I deleted that, so I'm going to go delete that. Now I've got an immersive section that I can play with. I'm going to start off with by adding in my content. I'm going to start with that imagery map, and then I'm going to add in the other layers. So we've got the OpenStreetMap and then the topographic map, and I'm going to save that, and then I'm just going to preview it. So column map, topographic, and then we go into our aerial image, then OpenStreetMap, and then a topographic map. That's just by me using the wheel on the mouse. Okay, so I can add in some texts just for the demo. Here, intro. Actually, I'm going backwards now. This will be the first one. Intro, page 1, 2, and then page 3. Okay, I just want to show you a nice effect that you can do here. You can do a swipe horizontal, so that we can make a nice swipe between these different layers. Let's save that and go back to the preview. You can open that again here, or I'm just going to refresh this page, and it will show us the preview of what we've just done. So we've got our title, our aerial image. As we scroll down, the text comes up, and now we've got the swipe feature. So as I move the mouse wheel, I can start to look at the aerial and the OpenStreetMap layer, and then the topographic layer. And again, this is a nice feature to have in Story Map. I can zoom in and I can look at different aspects of the map. And when you're swiping between these layers, that's kind of why I was showing you that it's really important to have that extent set, so that you can make nice comparisons between these layers. If they're offset, then you can't do that. Okay, so that's like the basics of story maps. But there might be some more elements that you want to add in, so let's just show you something a little bit more sophisticated. Rather than adding in a story map, maybe you want to link to content. Now these could be other apps and other maps, and I'll show you how to do that now. So let's say, for example, we want to add in, let's open a new tab, add in another type of app available to us in ArcGIS Online. Let's go to my content. Let's go to that story map demo, and let's go to that the Cull map. And I want to create a spyglass feature, and I'm going to embed that into my story map. So let's just show you how to do that. Again, I'll go to Share, and I'll use the out-of-the-box web app tools to do this. I can search for it. I think it's in a story map, or I can just hit I know it's called a spyglass, the one that I want to use. And for this, you can swipe between two different layers, or between two different web maps. I'm going to show you two different web maps because that's what I've created so far, and it's easy to continue that with the demo. So this is creating a web app now. It's very intuitive. It's got a nice graphical user interface that you can just follow. So I'm going to create a spyglass feature, and I want it to do between two web maps rather than two layers within the map. You get this main web map ID from up here, or you can search for it here. So I'm going to swipe between the topographic one, and I'm going to go next, and I don't need a legend, don't need pop-ups, don't actually even want descriptions. Open the app. For this purpose, you might want to change all of that. This is just a simple demo. I'm going to save that. I'm going to take that URL, and I'm going to go back to my story map, paste that in, check that that's okay. Let's have a look. Whilst that's working, we can do a title for our spyglass, and then continue with our text there. So it looks to be working very well. Let's save it and go back to our preview to see how it works. So there's our aerial image, here comes the text, here comes the swipe to our OpenStreetMap, there's the topographic map, and now we should see our spyglass feature. To do this, we need to explore, and yeah, we can see our aerial image with the OpenStreetMap beneath it. We can have a look at the River Colne and the area around it. This might be where you play around with the extent feature a little bit, just to get that right for this tool. But again, the user can do that for themselves in the way I've just demoed it there. So hopefully that gives you enough to get you started for story maps. And we'll continue to develop this as the course goes on. Thank you.